I beg your pardon?
You look lost.
It's my first time in London. I'm on my way to an interview. Can you tell me, is this Mount Street?
What's in the pocketbook?
Please, I'll just be on my way.
Give that here then.
No.
Yeah! Oh. Oh.
Miss Mary Stone, I presume? Nathaniel Hawking, such a pleasure to meet you. Oh, your turning up in London may be the solution to our problem.
I understand you've advertised on behalf of a relation.
Yes, my aunt is in need of a maid. She was the wife of my late uncle, the Colonel Hawking. Now, she's a remarkable woman, and I'm quite fond of her, but she has queer ideas at times. In truth, more than the help, I think she could do with the company.
Is that the girl?
Oh, Auntie.
How you suffer for me, Nathaniel.
Oh, not at all. Miss Stone, may I introduce my aunt, Mrs. Victoria Hawking.
So this is what you brought me. New and friendless from India, then. I would not have left India for this dreary place.
I see you've been told something of my history.
Only by your dress. Linen in October, since you've not long had need of warm clothing. At least this one can string two words together. Very well, tell me your accomplishments.
Oh, accomplishments may be a bit too strong a word, madam, but I served in officers' houses before I was called home to my family.
Yes, caring for a bedridden parent. Well, you're not uneducated, but I imagine you have a strong back. And I suppose you're in rather serious need of the position. As you will, Nathaniel.
Oh, thank you, madam. When can I move in my things?
Oh,
Nathaniel, I said I did not want anyone in the house.
Auntie, I told you this would be the way of things. And need I remind you, you have chased all your other options off?
Well then, Miss Mary Stone, can you keep your own counsel and mind your own business?
I can, Mrs. Hawking.
Have you the good sense God gave you?
I very much hope so.
As do I. In light of that, I suppose you should do for me.
Oh, then that's settled. Wonderful. Oh, the Colonel would have wanted me to take care of you, Auntie.
Bless him for that.
Oh, yes, quite remarkable. Fantastic to see you. Well, Clara and I shall bring the baby by soon. Oh, she is a character.
She doesn't seem very pleased with the arrangement.
Oh, not at all. Based on how she treated the others, I should say she's quite taken with you. She will come round. In time?
That's everything settled in now, madam. I'm ready for my duties now, if you tell me what they are.
Well, as I hope you have observed, Miss Stone, I am not a sociable creature, yet I find myself beset by society. Besides the housekeeping, your primary duty shall be not so much in receiving guests as in deflecting them as gracefully as propriety requires.
That's all, madam. sending your visitors away.
I understand that you are grateful for the place, but it shall be quite enough to keep the rabble from my affairs. I must be frank, I've no other need of you here. I suppose I like to take tea in the afternoons.
Tea? Well, that's something to start with, isn't it? I make a very good cup of tea. I'm a fair cook as well, if I may say. It does us all good to be of service, so I mean to. Although I suppose life in the city will take a bit of getting used to.
Oh, indeed. If you don't know how to handle yourself.
I ran into a rough sort in town. I thought I was in a bit of trouble, but I was rescued by someone.
Well, London can be a dangerous place. I imagine country life is more what you're accustomed to.
I suppose. Didn't fancy some old North Country town like my sister.
Your sister? I would not have thought you had living family. Why did your sister not take you in? I thought that was the done thing in your predicament.
Well, in truth, I didn't want to be just maiden Aunt Mary in some old northern village. I wanted to make my own way of it, see a bit of the world, and... You must think me dreadfully silly.
Well, if you'd care to make yourself useful, as it happens, I have an engagement tomorrow. 3 o'clock, the tea room at Claridge's.
A social engagement, madam.
Some things are unavoidable. You'll be ready to accompany me, I trust?
I'll be ready, madam. It must be difficult to return to society after losing your husband. This is him, then? Your late husband?
The Colonel Reginald Prescott Hawking. Yes.
Your nephew speaks very highly of him. He must have been a great man.
You must ask Nathaniel sometime. He does so love to talk about his uncle.
I'm sorry, madam. It must be painful to speak of him.
On one occasion, we visited his brother in the South Country. I remarked upon a fine red rose bush. Oh, it was nothing. A meaningless murmur of idle conversation. But for me, he dug up that rose bush with his own 2 hands, carried it back on his lap, and planted it in the garden in front of this very house. Because he could not see that I do not care one whit about roses. Do not be late tomorrow. I cannot abide lateness. Mrs. Victoria Hawking for Mrs. Celeste Fairmont.
We're early yet. Your friend may not have arrived.
We are not friends, but we share a common concern.
Have you known her long?
No, I have not. Take my coat to the footman. I shall wait at the table.
Well, I don't believe there's any such thing.
Honest, folks have been seeing him run along rooftops in a black hood.
You mean the one in the black mask?
Oh, don't tell me you believe this hogwash.
Oh, it's not. I've seen him. You rescued me when I was finding my way in Kensington.
And who are you then? Haven't seen you round here before.
Oh, I've just come to Mrs. Hawking, the Colonel's widow.
Oh, you're the new one.
I beg your pardon?
You must be the 5th girl they've got in over there. None of the others lasted longer than 6 months. I wouldn't worry about no Blackwood. You won't be around long enough to make no never mind.
Madam,
Something's come up. Fetch my coat. Take it home.
I thought you were meeting Mrs. Fairmont.
Good heavens, girl! Do as you're told!
Well, that was lovely. You should come whisk me away from the office for lunch more often.
I figured if you could spare the time to look in on Aunt Victoria, you could spare the time for lunch with your wife.
Well, you could come with me to see Auntie.
And that would take all the fun out of lunch. Besides, I have to get across town for my club meeting. Good luck facing down the dragon deer.
Oh, Mary, is that you? I was just headed your way.
Oh, Mr. Hawking, were we expecting you? Madam isn't at home.
Well, that's quite all right. It's actually you I wanted to see. Ask how things are settling in.
Settling in, sir. To be honest, I'm not sure that they are. I understand you've had some trouble keeping someone in the position, and I'm beginning to see why.
I know she can be difficult, but I worry for her if things continue as they have. I mean, she was always withdrawn, but since Uncle's passing, she won't take visitors, dismissed all the staff. Truly, I fear for her.
She seems so angry, sir, at my very being here.
It isn't only you. She isn't any happier to see me. But she was important to my uncle, and so important to me. You know, he always said she was a remarkable woman. I'd like to get to know her better, perhaps even help her through this. So I ask you to give her a chance, Mary. As I have.
Mrs. Fairmont,
Yes, who's asking?
my name is Mary Stone. Pardon the intrusion at this hour, but I'm recently coming to the employ of Mrs. Victoria Hawking.
Mrs. Hawking sent you?
No, but Madam didn't come home last night, and as far as I know, you were her last engagement. Begging your pardon, but I didn't know what else to do.
She sent word I was to meet her here, but she hasn't arrived.
Well, when were you expecting her? Do you know where she went?
I cannot precisely say. What was that?
It's a whole gang of ruffians. And they're after the Black Hood.
Oh, God!
Stop right there. I don't know why those men are after you, but you did me a good turn earlier, so if you mean us no harm, we mean none to you. Fairmont residents, how may I help you?
There's been some commotion in the neighbourhood. A dangerous individual about. We was chasing him just now, but it seems he's disappeared. You haven't seen nothing, have you?
I'm certain we haven't.
What are you all doing up at this hour anyway?
We were disturbed by the noises in the middle of the night.
And you haven't any notion of where this fellow went off to?
Of course we don't. And I must insist that you leave now. You frightened Mrs. Fairmont quite enough.
Right then. Evening to you, ladies.
Well done. We're even then.
Who are you? What is the meaning of this?
You're hurt. You need a doctor.
No, no doctors, I'll be on my way.
I understand. You can't let anyone know who you are. But we promise we won't tell a soul. They say you help people. Let us help you. Mrs. Hawking!
You. When you said you'd take my case, I had no idea it meant that you yourself were in your own person.
I find it necessary if I'm to find what you need.
And did you find what we need?
Despite that rabble, this is not simply the work of an alley gang. They are in the pay of the man who is blackmailing you, Lord Cedric Brockton.
Lord Brockton, the Undersecretary to the Minister. He's a respectable man. He's hosting the Queen's Ball in celebration of the Afghan victory, for God's sake.
And is one of the most dangerous blackmailers in Europe. His network of spies and operatives gather the secrets of the most powerful personages in the country, and he exacts a heavy price to keep them concealed. I knew his reputation, but now I see his work.
Heaven help me.
All that remains, madam, is exactly what he's found to hold over you.
I told you, some confidential papers.
No, I saw that room they broke into. The one with the cherub trim.
You promised you would not pry.
Circumstances have changed. Tell me, madam, who it was that they were looking for.
Not looking for. They found him. They found my son, my Gabriel. They've stolen away my boy.
Why in God's name would they take your child?
For the same reason, I imagine, that she should keep him hidden in rented rooms.
I was young. I made a mistake before my marriage. And when Gabriel was born, my father sent him to some dreadful workhouse. I would never do anything to compromise our good names. But I could not leave my boy.
With the police of no assistance.
I could not go to the police. Our reputation, Jacob's career would be at stake. But I had heard whispers from society ladies, their washerwomen, women of all standings, that there was someone who could take extraordinary action to help.
Madam,
Oh, your wound!
Oh, please. Allow me. Oh, this wants attention. Madam, if you'll bring me the basin. Oh, and Mrs. Fairmont, have you any clean linens about? And some alcohol to bathe it?
Yes, of course. I'll go and fetch it.
You have so many scars. Does this happen often in the work that you do?
On occasion. You may count how often.
It seems a great deal to risk for people you don't even know.
I've known what it is to have no power in this world.
And you take all of this on yourself? There's no one to help you?
I cannot chance it. Discovery by the wrong person would mean the end of everything.
I think you make a great mistake in that.
You're out of turn, Miss Stone. It's an easy thing to say when you need not fear your blasted husband putting a stop to everything.
You never knew. In 20 years of marriage.
One can hide anything from anyone if one so chooses.
You couldn't hide it from me. There will be pain, madam.
I've no fear of that.
Afternoon tea, madam. How is your wound?
No more of this nonsense.
I beg your pardon?
You know my business now. That is not something I'll allow to come out, so enough of this. What do you want from me, Mary?
Oh, madam, I want to help. What you're doing, it's the best thing I ever heard anyone do. I heard what Mrs. Fairmont said. Not just the society ladies, but the washerwomen and the scullery maids and the house girls. Poor women, precisely like myself, who've nowhere else to turn.
You've no idea how dangerous it can be.
I saw how dangerous. I can be brave when circumstances call for it.
So I've seen, but it's more than that. What I do, it's unacceptable in the eyes of society.
Madam, I've lived a respectable life. All my life I've served masters and kept house and stayed silent. And then when my parents passed and I'd nothing left, I realised how little that was to make a life. How I'd become no one. But what you're doing, well, that means something. And more than anything, that's what I'd like to do.
I am accustomed to working alone.
Everyone needs help sometime. I've a strong back and the good sense God gave me, and please, madam, let me help.
Good heavens. Must be losing my mind. Oh, God help us. All right, brave girl, all right.
Oh, thank you, madam, thank you. I promise I'll not disappoint you.
I grant, you've not yet. Very well. Now, there's work to be done. For Mrs. Fairmont's case, we find ourselves with an array of particular challenges. Challenge the first.
The safe return of the child.
Correct. To rescue the boy from the villain's clutches. Challenge the second?
Protecting her reputation.
By keeping the child's existence from public knowledge. And finally, challenge the third.
That would be the villain himself.
Lord Cedric Brockton conceals the traces of his enterprises as well as any man I've tangled with. I've returned a missing child or two in my time, but in this my usual methods have not served. I'd thought to trace his men back to where they were keeping the boy, but I've been trailing them for days and I've seen no sign.
If I may, madam, what was it Mrs. Fairmont said about Lord Brockton hosting a ball? Perhaps that's where to gather intelligence.
By attending this ball. Well, surely he's not keeping the boy in his own house.
No, but there may still be something there we could use.
There is a logic to it.
So you'll go then?
I shall. Now, we must prepare. There isn't much time. I've been out of the roar of things for some time, but I dare say the name Hawking can still secure an invitation. And we shall have to see about acquiring you a suitable gown.
A gown? For me? I'm coming with you.
Well, it was your plan, Miss Stone.
But I don't know what to do.
Then you must learn. What, do you think I was born a society avenger? If you wish to be of use, you must not be afraid to venture out.
Do you really think I can? Gather intelligence and pass as high society?
One of the first things you must learn in this trade is the art of disguising yourself as something you are not. For you, it shall be as high society. For me, it shall be as someone who can bear to spend the evening in whalebone stays. Besides, when it comes to facades one must put on, society's a common one. I imagine you'll manage it no worse than most.
There you are. I have observed the lay of the house, and there is a locked study on the second floor where a footman stands guard. If Brockton keeps secrets in this house, that is where we will find... Are you quite all right?
That gentleman over there is staring at me. Can you tell I don't belong?
I imagine, Miss Stone, it is because we have dressed you in entirely too becoming a gown. Fortunately, I was able to turn this to our advantage.
What do you mean?
I may have given them the impression that you were a niece of the Viceroy of India, sent to London to escape a scandal with a prominent soldier.
Me? Oh, but I'm not... Why?
Brockton is a blackmailer, Mary. He's always interested in persons with secrets. While he sounds you out for his wicked purpose, I shall take advantage of his distraction.
But I don't know how to behave like the niece of a viceroy. He'll see right through me.
See that he doesn't. You were raised in India. Make use of the experience. And I assure you, miss, if it comes to making conversation with that villain, better you than me.
Hello, darling. Great to see you. Good to see you, sir. Good to see both of you again. Ah. I don't believe we've met.
Oh, ought we to?
Allow me to introduce myself. I'm Lord Cedric Brockton. I'd like to welcome you to my party.
Oh, is this your house? It's such a dear little place.
You must know, miss, everyone is simply buzzing about you. Yet, no one even knows your name.
My name? My uncle calls me... Tiger Lily.
You must find London so dull compared to life in the colonies.
Oh, goodness, you've no idea. Why, at home, if I so chose, I could ride to work on the back of an elephant.
You worked, miss.
You don't think finishing school is work?
I suppose so. Whatever then could take you away from all that?
Well, you know how it is. Uncle dear thought I was becoming a bit too familiar with his, well...
Soldiers, miss.
My lord, what sort of lady do you take me for? Fraternizing with enlisted men. They were all officers. Oh, but I've said too much. My uncle would be furious with me. You must excuse me, Lord Brockton. Lovely party you've thrown.
Yes. Bye. Bye. Why? Could that be Mrs. Colonel Reginald Prescott Hawking?
You know me, sir.
The hero's wife? Most certainly. It's been some time since you've made an appearance in society.
Had you not heard? My husband died. I've been in mourning.
But you've been busy still, haven't you? I naturally take note of anyone who's followed my business as closely as you have. You have a habit of giving ladies advice. That advice has led to a number of my enterprises going awry. When that happens, I take great pains to understand why.
Perhaps you've made a wrong move.
Perhaps you have, madam!
For your sake, I suggest you make no more. It has been an absolute pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Please do enjoy the rest of the party.
Madam, have you found anything?
Not now. We mustn't be seen speaking. Hire a hansom and meet me at home. Things have just become more complicated.
Oh, madam, that was... Oh, I've never been so carried off.
Mary.
When Lord Brockton came over to me, I thought I would faint, but it didn't. I handled it.
Mary, please! Brockton spoke to me just before we left. He suspects.
He does?
Regrettably, he's more observant than most of my adversaries. Now, it will not be enough to simply recover the boy. We must find something to hold over Brockton, to stay his hand, force his silence.
Blackmail the blackmailer.
That blasted boy is not to be the ruin of both Mrs. Fairmont and me.
Madam, he's done nothing. He's only a child.
They have destroyed more women even than Brockton.
Oh, what can be done? Mothers love their children.
Of course.
We can't leave Gabriel to that man any longer. You did find something, didn't you?
I did indeed. This note was unsigned and the envelope bore no postmark, but the text speaks very frankly of agreeing to secret away the boy as a condition of Brockton's silence. Well, I've no doubt he's imposing upon one of his other victims to hide the boy away.
But it says nothing of who this man is or where they're keeping the child.
Unfortunately, no. That we shall have to determine by another means. See here. The language is that of an educated man, yet contains several noteworthy turns of phrase, such as, which I should say is far a boon, the call of my debt, and for the concealment of a cobby boy, which are both distinctly of the Yorkshire dialect. So, it's safe to say our writer is a man of some background, raised in the country.
That's astounding.
A trifle. Now, as for the paper, it's fine. Certainly expensive, and this watermark, I've seen this before. This is the stationery of the Bombay Club.
The Bombay Club?
A social club for distinguished soldiers of the Empire. The Colonel belonged to it, and my nephew does in his honor. It's a place where men escape to in order to congratulate each other on victories over savages armed with darts and spears.
Oh, what luck! If Mr. Hawking belongs there, perhaps he can help us.
Certainly not. Nathaniel would only stand in our way and behave as if it were for our own good.
Perhaps if we explain to him what...
Mary, it is out of the question! He will brook no challenge to his comfortable order of things. He will learn this too in time. Regardless, the club seems to be our best lead at present. We must investigate for members with a background in Yorkshire. The Colonel's old service knife. Leaving it was one of the few useful things he ever did for me. Women are not permitted as guests, of course, but I'll dress you as one of the maids and nobody should trouble over you.
On what of you?
I do not intend to be seen at all.
Goodness. Madam, does this mean you were pleased with me? That you like me to continue on?
I am. A second set of wits and another pair of hands proved surprisingly useful. And you acquitted yourself most admirably.
As I said, does us so good to be of service. there you are. Well, why did you want me to meet you here?
Because I've spotted our man, or at least a likely suspect. There's a gentleman with a strong Yorkshire accent in the supper room as we speak. After dinner, they shall retire here. I intend to observe the man from hiding until I learn his identity. You are to remain nearby if I should need you.
Yes, madam. But where will you hide? My goodness.
I've found, well, to my advantage over the years, people seldom look up.
Brockton, you're killing me.
Quickly, Mary, hand up the knife.
I have had quite enough, Sarah. I've paid you your money. I've hidden your documents. I secreted away your stolen boy. Do you mean to blade me dry?
A few pounds and a favor or two. There's a small price to pay to hide mistakes like yours, my lord.
Now you dog me to my club. I've had near enough of your poison.
You'll drink it up and more before we're through. Unless you want the peerage to know what sort of man Sir Walter Granger is. Thought as much, my good man.
Bad Jove. I know this knife. It belonged to the Colonel. Old Colonel Reginald Hawking.
Hawking?
Mr. Hawking!
Mary, what are you... Oh, good Lord, did Aunt Victoria fire
Oh,
you?
never mind that. You must take Lord Brockton from this room. It's very urgent.
Why would she
There's
need
no
me to...
time. Take him from the room and get back that knife.
What ho, gentlemen. I was hoping we might have a game of cards. I think we've a large enough company for a decent rubber.
Yeah, that sounds capital.
Forgive me, Sir Walter, but Hawking, did you say?
Yes, I did, my lord. Nathaniel Hawking's the name. The late colonel was my uncle. Good gracious. You found Uncle's old service blade. Oh, I'm ever so grateful. I'd have been quite sorry to have lost it for good.
I ask because I had the pleasure of meeting the late colonel's wife recently.
Oh, did you? How is the old girl? Doesn't get out much, I've heard, since my uncle's passing. She's quite lost in the world without him.
Out of the way, girl.
Lost it. My God!
Calm yourself. She'll wake. What have you done? I told you were not to expose our work to anyone, least of all to Nathaniel.
Brockton's occupied with the other gentlemen, but I don't just... Aunt Victoria? What are you doing here? Why on earth are you dressed like that?
Nathaniel, do not say one word more. Mary, make your escape. We have what we came for. I shall deal with you at home.
Surely, Mary, surely this must all be a joke. Breaking into buildings, knives and bullets, games of cat and mouse with society blackmailers?
I promise you, sir, it's all true.
But it makes no sense. A prominent, respected man like Cedric Brockton hoarding secrets and masterminding some nefarious plot to kidnap children? And Madam believing some fantasy that she's the one to bring him to justice with a mask and a knife? Has she gone mad?
You have seen nothing yet, boy.
You're here. Good Lord, Madam, I hardly know what to say.
Then say nothing, Nathaniel.
Am I to understand that you have been going out on these ventures for some time?
Since before you wore trousers.
Good Lord, Madam, what in the world possessed you?
If you cannot see that, then I cannot explain.
Whatever did the Colonel think of all this?
I did not trouble for your uncle's approval any more than I do for yours.
No. No, this won't do at all. Aunt Victoria, I am going to lay down the law. I insist you put a stop to all this immediately.
What did you say?
I insist. I forbid you in continuing this business any further.
You forbid me. You forbid me. You would dare to interfere in that which you do not understand.
Well, the Colonel would want me to...
Nathaniel, do not speak to me again of what the Colonel would want.
Very well. We shall discuss this later. When you are feeling better. Good night, dear aunt.
We'll speak to him. We'll make him understand.
How dare you?
Oh, madam, I just...
Over the course of years, I have worked to carry this delicate operation upon which so many desperate people depend, and you see fit, upon just a few days' experience, to place it all in jeopardy.
Madam, I only thought...
I suppose I should have expected no more. I was a fool to bring you into this. Leave me now. I cannot bear to look at you.
No. No, madam. What would you have done? If I hadn't been there, if Mr. Hawking hadn't covered your tracks, what would you have done?
I managed this work for years before a house girl deigned to lend her expertise. And I hid it all from my fool of a nephew, and the husband that lived in this house.
But this is different. You said so yourself. Lord Brockton is a more formidable opponent than you faced before. You could have lost everything.
I may yet if Nathaniel has his way.
Madam, he saved you. He cares for you.
His uncle cared for me too. And he would have kept me like a bird in a cage. Well, that for their care! They're all of a kind, and there is nothing for us if we are not for their use.
I've been a servant in other people's houses all my life. You think you need explain that to me?
I will permit that of no one. Neither foolish women nor beastly men.
Is that the sum of it then? The women are fools and the men are beasts. Why risk so much for people if you think so little of them all?
You forget yourself, Miss Stone. Do not presume to judge me. It's not your place.
I hear the contempt in you for Mrs. Fairmont, even as she fears for her husband and her son.
She need fear nothing if it weren't for that man and that boy.
That boy is the child of her body. And you won't even say his name. It's Gabriel.
I know his name!
The souls in question matter, madam. Yours as well. This cannot only be your vengeance. And if that is outside my place, madam, then I've no more use for my place than you do for yours.
Oh,
Ah, Mr. Hawking, is it?
thank you for sitting down with me, Lord Brockton. I hope it's not an imposition.
Not at all. You had something important you wished to discuss.
Yes. I understand you recently had something of a run-in with my aunt.
I did. Do you know something of it?
Oh, you must understand she's not been well of late, and I fear it's led her to meddle in your business.
I had gotten that sense. Ladies do love to talk.
Oh, it's more than that, I'm afraid.
Indeed.
Since my uncle's passing, I fear she's gone all to pieces. I hardly know what to think. But no matter. I am taking the situation in hand. I mean to see that she troubles you no further. But in the meanwhile, I must ask you to be forbearing.
Ah, of course. I can only imagine how difficult it's been. Women can prove such fragile creatures when life deals them such heavy blows. It's good that she has a man such as yourself to mind her when she can't be trusted on her own.
Oh, you are gracious, my lord. Thank you.
Not at all. Thank you, Mr. Hawking. You're doing your aunt a great service, relieving her of her burdens of her own determination. And me as well. It'll be good to get back to my work uninterrupted. As a matter of fact, if you'll excuse me.
Oh, are you off already, my lord?
You must forgive me, young man. I have business that'll take me out to the country. And I dare say, I best be off to Yorkshire.
Business? Just a moment, my lord. I didn't mean... Good evening, Mary. Is my aunt home, and do you think she'll see me?
Oh, goodness, no.
Oh.
I mean, she's not at home. I haven't seen her since last night.
I see. It's only... I've been turning things over. I thought a man like Lord Brockton to be beyond reproach, but now... Now I don't feel at all right about things, Mary. And certainly not with how I left things with Madam.
Mr. Hawking, forgive me saying so, but you don't understand what it's like. You who've a decent family and a little money and everyone always listens to what you have to say. Without that, someone like Mrs. Hawken could be the only hope one has.
Truly? She saves people? My God. All this time, I had no idea. And the Colonel had no idea.
She feared he would have stopped her.
As I tried to... Mary, you must understand. I thought the world of my uncle. That meant, after he died, it would be my job to fill his shoes and look after things. And he loved my aunt, Mary. He only meant to take care of her.
Whatever your uncle meant, she's become so angry. Angry at all the world. Even at the child she set out to rescue. Poor little Gabriel. She won't even say his name.
Gabriel? Oh dear. That's what Uncle Reginald wanted to name their boy.
Their boy? They had a child.
Not exactly. Poor little fellow was stillborn. It was many years ago. I was just a boy myself. But enough of this. Where is she?
I don't know. I think she's gone after Lord Brockton on her own.
Why would she do that?
She wanted to get to the boy before Brockton realised anyone was coming. He's a dangerous man. Who knows what he'd do to the child or to her if he knew?
Oh no. Mary, I fear I've made a terrible mistake. I went to Brockton and told him Aunt Victoria was coming for him. And then he ran off to go to Yorkshire. Do you think he means to lay a trap?
Oh, we've got to help her.
How? There's no time to warn her off.
Then we've got to go after her. See that she's not facing them all alone.
The two of us? Go after a villain in his own lair?
It's not just the two of us. She'll need all the help she can get. We'll have to hire a hansom straight away.
Wait! Lord Brockton is a powerful man. What can we do against the likes of him?
Nathaniel, the Colonel would want you to be brave.
Good Lord! Who are you?
Never mind that. Where's the boy? What have you done with him?
It wasn't my doing. Brockton forced me to it. He threatened to ruin me unless I kept the child for him. But that's all I know of it. He's told me nothing else.
The boy, he's here, in the house.
Aye, there was no time to move him.
Move him? Why?
Don't you see Brockton knew you were coming? He snicked you into his trap. When they find you here, they'll kill you. Whoever you are.
I shall handle his lordship and his men. But there isn't much time, Sir Walter. Find yourself a pen and paper if you wish to free yourself from Brockton's grasp.
Lordship, he's here. He tried to get to the boys' room, but we ran him off.
Who is he?
Couldn't rightly say so. He's wearing a hood, but he's lightning quick. And I'd stake my life he's the same body what was tracking us the other night.
Whoever he is, find him. Take your men and go.
Oh, thank heavens it's you.
Mary, you found me.
I would have come with you if you'd asked.
I work alone.
You can't go it alone forever, not when the stakes are this high. Nathaniel, she's here.
What are they doing here?
Only to help, madam. I swear it. I never meant to betray you.
What are you talking about?
Forgive me. I made a terrible mistake. I went to Brockton and told him you were coming.
You did what?
I'm so sorry. I know it was wrong. And now I mean to make it right. By any means.
Very well. May as well make use of you. Here. If you would make this up to me, read this, carry it out exactly as written. Can you do this for me?
I can. I'll be at it forthwith.
Oh, good man. Good luck, Nathaniel.
To you as well.
And what of my boy? Have you seen him?
Mrs. Fairmont, your child is at hand.
Thank God. Can I see him? Will you take me to him?
One thing yet remains. His captors know we are here. They mean to assail us. Someone must recover the boy. Madam, I must ask you to be very brave. You must go in and retrieve your son.
Me? Brockton's men are everywhere.
Miss Stone and I will deal with them, but someone must recover the child. He's in the chamber at the end of the east wing, waiting only for you to go and rescue him.
I can't. I can't.
You can. Celeste! Celeste!
I can't!
You can. That is your boy in there. That is your Gabriel. You can do this for Gabriel. They know we're here. They're searching the house for us now. We must give her time to draw them off so she can get to the boy, so we must be ready for them to come.
Madam, Nathaniel told me about your boy, your Gabriel. Madam, forgive me.
I told you Nathaniel couldn't keep his mouth shut. You called it my vengeance, Mary, but perhaps I can be forgiven for it. I was not meant for the lot of women. Certainly not that part of it. I must have wished 1,000 times for it to just be gone. Like some burrowing beast from the hollow of a rotted out tree. But when it was... I had not wanted that. What? I suppose that was the way of it. My nature did not fit into any part of life with the Colonel.
Was he very bad to you?
That man would have done anything in the world for me except what I wanted. Oh, him and his damned red rose bush. They're coming. Mary, if you wish to leave, it must be now.
Oh, not a chance, madam.
Stand down! Stop.
My God. Victoria Hawking! I knew you had a hand in this, but that you yourself came. You must be madder than I thought.
Boss, the boy, he's gone.
What? What did you want about? What did you do?
What I set out to do, sir. Returned the boy to the arms of his mother where he belongs.
Go now, you don't. Find him. Make sure he doesn't escape. It doesn't matter. I still know Celeste Fairmont's secret. And yours, too. Still ruin her. And you!
I wouldn't try that if I were you.
What? Nathaniel Hawking? Is this what you call controlling your family?
You won't get away with this.
She's brought you into her mad crusade now, too, eh? When just yesterday you came bearing tales to me, hoping I could stop her where you couldn't.
Oh, not anymore. He's our man now.
Nathaniel has indeed been of some use to me. It seems he's found some secrets of yours as well.
What are you on about?
You rely too heavily on the fear you instill in your victims, Lord Brockton. You should not have entrusted such information to one who hates you as Lord Granger does.
Granger's in my power.
Not anymore. He's given me the documents you asked him to keep. Bits and pieces of the secrets you held over the heads of London society. And what do you suppose they'll do when you no longer have that particular club to wield?
Ruin that idiot Granger. I'll ruin you!
You try, and we'll see you're brought down with us.
You have a position in this city, Nathaniel. You have a family. Would you throw it all away for this madwoman?
That is exactly what I would do, my lord. What will you do?
That's enough, Cedric. We going now?
No! No, blast you! You're just a woman!
And you, just a man.
We've received a note from Mrs. Fairmont. Gabriel's been restored to her and they're at home, safe and sound.
Oh, thank God.
Still, Brockton will not remain beaten forever. And he will remember what we've done here.
Well, then we'd best be on our guard.
Auntie? That was a remarkable thing you did. I owe you an apology.
Most certainly you do. I should have your hide for informing on me. But for what you've done this day, I shall consider us even if you shall. So long as you never dare try that again.
Oh, you have my word. I always knew you were a remarkable woman. I only never knew how.
Nathaniel? The Colonel would have been proud of you.
Well, I best be on my way home. Good evening, ladies.
He'll do better from here. We all will.
Well, I suppose he isn't completely useless. He found you for me, Mary.
Begging your pardon, is this the house of Mrs. Victoria Ocking?
It is. Who may I say is calling?
Grace Monroe, miss. Please, I've just got to see the lady.
I am she. What brings you here, Mrs. Monroe?
Oh, madam, I heard all about you, how you help women in, rough spots. I'm in a proper one now, Mum, and I ain't got nowhere else to turn.
Indeed. Please, sit. Tell us what the trouble is.
Thank you kindly, madam. It's my Billy, see. He's fallen in with a bad lot. Now he's up to his neck in trouble with the Wild Boys.
The street gang. I heard their leadership had been jailed. They'd gone quiet.
It's their new boss, madam. He come out of nowhere and stirred up all sorts of trouble. And now my Billy, see, he's mixed up in... Begging your pardon. Who's this here with you?
This is Miss Mary Stone. My assistant. You may trust her as you would me.
Please, Mrs. Monroe, we'll do everything we can to see you through this.
Alright. My Billy, he had a respectable job in a shop. And then these men come round and they start asking him about a business proposition. What time does the shop close? That sort of thing. They were his mates, but...